Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Starting it up a little early to deal with the standard Twitch being Twitch portion of the stream, which is starting right now. I have good timing. This way, the folks on Twitch will only miss out on kind of the on the hour and the startup of the stream, since you either got to do pre-rolls or you got to do periodic ones. Let's check in with the kitties. We do have Sammy having a bath up there in the tree and Mason snoozing in the bed. It looks like Molly is in the play area. You can see her crouched and looking at the curtain. That may mean his sherbet may be over there. Every now and then I try to check down below and see if Sherbet's hiding it beneath my footstool. He does not seem to be. Molly will sit on top of it next to my feet. Sherbet will sit underneath it in the little cat hidey hole down there. What this may also mean is some of them might be looking out the window. You can see that, let's see, in tall format, that is kind of towards the lower left, up one from lower left. In wide format, it is bottom center. The curtain there is a platform behind it that they can sit on and look right out the window. If the spring to summer critters are active, then often you can hear, I would be able to hear the thumping of cat paws against window. Since that's practically ground level out there. And the critters know the cats are no threat to them. Oh, but 100 line today. We are going to see what the new character, the new arrival, the freed prisoner, is going to add to it. Given the suspiciousness of their arrival, like the whole circumstance around them returning being... I mean, it's suspicious. It is, doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense that they just kind of walked back on their own like they did. But we'll see how that go. Yeah. So let's get into it. So this is the next day after that person arrived. They were still, like, recovering.
Hey!
Sup, Takumi? You pumped to start a new day? Another day defending humanity's future. Totally raring to go. Heck, I've always gotten fired up about helping people. Just ain't right to sit in the sidelines when you can make things better, you know? Oh, that was another aspect. The Ima Kako situation is boiling up. So Ima, the sister of the twins, has started to express more interest in helping, which has resulted in Kako, her brother, you know, the one prone to saying things like sister dearest, and very actively isolating her from the rest of the group, has required that she stay in the room with him and has told everybody else, stay away, you're corrupting my sister. One, that implies to me that she brought it up with him directly. We need to help. But he doesn't want that. So the gaslighting manipulation that he is putting forward. I say Kako is the sister. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But the brother's kind of manipulative, abusive behavior really seems to be coming to a head. I'm hoping that we're going to get something out of that soon. It has been in the works since early on. Appearances really can be deceiving. When I first met Takamaru, he seemed like a common street thug, but he's actually just a really nice guy. I think. Sherbet and Sky getting some food. So we can see Nozomi and Moko, the one that returned. Nozomi. They're in in Moko's room where Moko is resting. We have Ima. Okay, Ima's the brother. And Kako, they are in Ima's room. So he has her sequestered in his room. Let's see, we have Shoma on the second floor. Let's see what Shoma's up to. Then we'll head to the cafeteria for the next plot beat. All right, what's on the second floor that he might be hiding near? It's not near the library. All right, well, 6 one way, half a dozen the other. I suspect he's near a stairway. We still have some rooms we can't get into yet. Yep. It was near the other stairway. Hello, Takumi. Takumi. Say, have you been in the courtyard yet? If you haven't, it's worth taking a look around. The plants are really well maintained, and there are even animal pens there. That was... Like, it was mentioned that there were animal pens, and some of them mentioned that it seemed like it might be a way... a place to hold captured invaders. I'm wondering if that's going to be a mechanic soon, is to capture them and either as just a collection mechanism or a resource of some kind. There's no animals in them right now, but they look like they'd be a nice place to live, and they're big enough that you could even fit a person inside. Well, that's an ominous phrase. But maybe you've seen them already. If that's the case, just ignore me. I'm sorry for being such a insufferable Budinsky. Okay, he was adjacent to one of the courtyard entrances. This is the courtyard. Yeah, much more of a garden than a courtyard. I mean, it qualifies. You know, the interior open space, but this is very garden, not courtyard. Oh yeah, that's ominous. Hey there, Tass. Yeah, these aren't animal pens. So we're either going to have to imprison an ally, or we're going to capture one of the commanders. They're too big for rabbits or guinea pigs. They actually look human-sized. Yeah, the bed gives it away, Takumi. Gaps between the bars are pretty narrow. There's not even enough space to reach a hand through. That also looks incredibly false. That looks like you could, like, wedge a leg through. There's a notice here. Let's see. These cages are fitted with electromagnetic wave generators. They can be used to disable a prisoner's powers and abilities. This is for capturing a commander. Disable their powers? Does that include hemoanima? Why would we need to lock anyone up here, though? Though I suspect, again, we're going to have an ally captured. Quote, animal pen. It's like, no. This is going to turn sinister almost immediately. Kako and Emo weren't in the cafeteria that morning. I'd expected that, but Nozomi was missing too. Are those peculiar siblings still eschewing our company? Eschewing. Sometimes you have to eschew company thoroughly to avoid indigestion. Ha 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 ha. Seems like it. They're spending all their time in Ema's room. I'm starting to worry about them. Starting? Her vocabulary is all over the place. Could be what could they be doing in there all day? Probably something cliche and mundane, like planning a suicide pact. There's nothing mundane about that. Brother and sister? Alone together? Perhaps they're... Nay, such a thing would be far too outrageous. Yeah, it's... The dynamic between Kurara and Kyoshika is interesting. Because Kyoshika seems really prone to this kind of statement by herself. I feel like Kurara just needles her to provoke this kind of reaction, to say something suggestive and have Kyoshika exclaim in a way that takes it the worst way. Do I even want to know what you're imagining? Who needs them? No point worrying too much. I haven't seen Nozomi this morning either. Is my pathetic presence repelling her? She's fine. Moko still hasn't woken up, so she's decided to watch over her and make sure she's okay. Too bad for you, huh, Takumi? I wasn't... you're blushing. Don't try to hide it, man. I can read you like a book. You want to get up close and personal with Nozomi, right? Maybe wrap your hand around her heart and feel its warmth before it beats its last?
Hey!
Was that a threat? Was it meant to sound romantic? I seriously can't tell with you. Young love. Why couldn't I have ended up in a killing game with someone with an itchy trigger finger? We've gotten hints of Darumi's background in the last one. I appreciate that they didn't just go the route with Yagamu that that he's just the gets off on killing assassin, you know? It's kind of it's kind of a mirrored aspect, is that he considers killing intimate. He has much more akin with the artistic murderer trope, you know? The death should be beautiful. In his case, it's death is intimate. It has to be special and personal. So you can't don't sell yourself short, Durumi. You can't just throw your life away with the first murderer who takes an interest in you. Those one-night stabs might seem exciting, but there's so much more meaning to a committed relationship. One where you let your bloodlust grow over time. And here's our demonstration of what I was just saying. Durumi, the last thing that she was talking about, she kept paralleling what was going on with a story that involved, like, a shut-in brother, and it sounded like it was the, kids living by themselves kind of scenario, with the brother being increasingly kind of detached and removed from responsibilities. So I wonder if that was just, commentary from her to emphasize her screwballness, or that we're going to hear more about the circumstance that created Darumi, Trust me, your death has value. You need to treat it with respect. That's a fun mindset. That's an interesting character mindset for somebody raised as an assassin. It both plays into the sort of like almost pseudo fetish aspect that the kind of fetish aspect that he has of it, but additionally, the norm of like an assassin group is that killing is a commodity. It's not just presented as this is a wrong thing to do amongst people, but it's also this is a thing you don't do for free. This is not something that you just do willy-nilly. Again, it's important, it's intimate, it has value. I hand it to you. If you take out all the serial killer crap, that almost sounds like good advice. How is Moko doing? Even in the state she was in, I don't think she'd stay unconscious this long. Hey there, Lunar. Welcome, welcome. Why not kill her and fix her up that way? They still haven't played this card yet, but the idea that any sort of injury or problem that a person is facing that is like, again, injury, sickness, debilitation, anything like that, based on the stuff available to them, just getting killed resolves that. Now, it presents a lot of psychological barriers and also psychological price, but we haven't seen that deployed yet, and Yagamu and Darumi are poised to be characters that would probably try that. With Darumi, it's almost been implied that she has or is willing to.
Huh?
Surely you jest. Even if she can be revived, Lady Moko is still our friend. We could never willingly harm her.
Ah.
And I don't want to offer that way. It'd be such a waste of a good target. Do you guys have to talk about death and killing so much? I'm trying to eat. It is a lot to deal with first thing. I guess we can put this discussion on hold until later. After a while, we finished breakfast, left the cafeteria, and went back to our rooms for the time being. So Moko hasn't woken up since yesterday. Nozomi must be worried. Pushing buttons. There we go. There's not much I can do for her directly, but maybe I can take some of the pressure off her in my own way. To do that, I need to be as ready as I can for the next attack. Alright, who we got on the board here? Let's check our stats. Yeah, it's... Right now, their deaths are still, like, all of them still act in a way that implies they are still fighting to not die. Game mechanic-wise, in the battles, you are encouraged to get them killed off each round. You want to win the round, but you also want to have them use their suicide attacks. Because if they blow themselves up, all the kills they get are considered max value. You get bonus points. So narratively, it's a desperate battle. But how long until that kind of thing starts to weigh on them? And we still haven't, like, I've still hesitated to see what happens if Nozomi gets killed. Because, again, twice in a row before her battle, they called out the revive system doesn't work for her. Which leads to its own questions in a variety of ways, but still. Okay, next thing, we're either going to hit social studies or linguistics. Creativity would be the thing to get. Rebel pudding. Is there a good way we can tell which trait? That's both social studies. Is there a difference in the icons? No. Okay, Darumi gives us one of those. I don't know if hers is creativity or literature, though. Yeah, we tried Darumi last time because I will remember what these buttons are. We tried with Darumi because we know a lot about the kind of things that she likes. Essentially weird eroge and horror movies kind of stuff. So, like, the depressing eroge was one that we gave her. We don't have enough machine parts for a lot of good stuff. This one puzzles me. Ah, okay. A weapon for hitting people in pro wrestling. Can be combined with throws or just to sit on. So, Moko. Noose. A Kako mini standee. The presence of this is once again another hard call out that Ema will join the team. Molly. I'm really gonna have to find a further way to block that off. Hey there, Zane. Welcome. We did encounter a circumstance where Darumi might like that, yeah. No, she's walking across soundboards and, like, tap dancing on dials. You got one warning there, Zane. And you are already on the far side of that warning. Let's get materials. We need machine parts again. Rain check. She shows up in the list now. And thank you, Tass. Faster on the button press. Machine parts. That's not a bad team. Can we swap somebody out for Nozomi, actually? While it's useful to have her heal, she is so squishy. There.
Let's go!
Alright, what do we got? Ideally, we'll drop near a place with gold caliber machine parts. This upper area might be a good starting spot in that regard. Maximize value. It's a heavy loop if we go to the right. Okay, we'll go left and there's a special event over there. What's up with that? Hello, Sky. Find an area with a strange medicinal odor. Herbs and grasses with healing properties seem to thrive here. You might be able to use some of them. Observation. Wonder which one of... Maybe that's one of my science skills? Using the observation skills you've developed, you were able to determine whether the plants were medicinal or not, so you found an effective medicinal herb.
I'll take that.
Green caliber, I'll take it. As you climb a slope path, a log starts rolling down. Wouldn't think we could outrun the thing. Fortunately, 1, 2, 3 jump, but unfortunately that wasn't enough to jump over the extremely thick log and you were bowled over. We're gonna try to outrun it next time. We are going to try to go north here because we can extinguish a tier 2. And that leads to a new area, but our goal here... Oh, let's go up to here and see Well, I'm curious now. Okay, we've got some machine parts. I don't think we have Firefighting 3 yet, though. Interrupted our move path there. An unexploded bomb. Dismantle it. Carefully defuse the bomb and were able to scrap it for parts. You were exhausted from the mental strain.
Here's what I found.
Okay, yellow gets us green. Purple should get us blue, then. Altar with an odd statue. Offerings have been placed. Okay, we aren't able... I keep forgetting. It's if it says give it something, you don't get to choose. Alright, we lost the plant, but we got nothing. Boo. Okay, good. We spread the damage a little bit.
Here's what I found.
Remains of a giant robot. You might find rare materials in it. Reactor, let's go. Oof. Well then. Well, we're host. We are completely hosed. Well, we're going to get an opportunity to find out what happens if you lose.
I'm not done yet.
We have all new enemies, too. It's the one that armors itself. The big one and this one are new. Poison Touch. If it hits you, your attack power goes down. A Buzz Top.
It's all right. I'm not done yet. That's it. Not there yet. Ah! That all you got? Yeah! Got it! It's all right. Take this! Not there yet. Not gonna cut it!
Let's see how quickly shredded we get here.
That all you got? I'm putting it all on the line! Fall back!
We lose half our items. We got some machine parts, though. That's what we set out for. And we unlocked a new starting point.
At ease, soldiers. It's time to hit the hay. You never know when the invaders might attack, so rest up while you still can. Well then, good night.
So yeah, if you lose, it's... I hadn't lost in a battle yet, but it does make sense that a non-defensive battle is not a game over. And I appreciate that. It wouldn't have been surprising if it was a game over. And you'd have to reload or, you know, start before on the day before kind of stuff. Since there are games that even if the mechanics say it wouldn't be, then you still get a... Well, you're never allowed to lose kind of thing. With all the excitement of Moko showing up, I completely forgot. I was supposed to tell everybody about the encounter with the ghost boy the night before last. Never figured out what happened after I was knocked out. He could still be here in the school somewhere for all we know. We have found that it is definitely one of Takumi's kind of character traits that he latches onto a hypothesis rapidly. Like, as soon as it is possibly true in his mind, it is absolutely true, and it cannot be let go of. So, parallel worlds were floated as a hypothesis for Nozomi being so similar to Karua, and thus it was absolutely a parallel world Karua, and they needed to figure out why they were in a parallel world. He decided that the Ghost Boy was responsible for the attacks and problems, despite no evidence other than it appeared before an attack once. Like, directly before an attack once. And so it is responsible for it. And in the vein of any good conspiracy theorist, despite its incredible demonstrated supernatural ability, and the fact that it is wreathed in a type of fire that is lethal to humans and unstoppable, he decided to try to tackle it. And wasn't hurt by the fire because he slipped and fell and knocked himself out. If I start talking about that now, though, I'll probably only make everyone more confused. I resolved to bring it up tomorrow morning instead. For now, it was late and I needed to get some sleep. Hello, Sky. Yeah.
Up and Adam troops! Get ready for your 52nd day of active service here at Last Defense Academy. Prepare to spend another day enduring the unendurable and suffering the insufferable. Be ready to give your lives to protect our beloved school.
If you time it right, you can cut it off so it's still full sentences. Okay, time to go to the cafeteria and tell everyone about what happened. Okay, where is everybody? Okay, we have Nozomi out in the open somewhere, which is usually over here. Moko's still unconscious. She's able to swallow liquids, and sometimes she seems like she's vaguely aware of her surroundings. I can't help but worry, though. I'm going to stay by her side until she's ready to wake up. It's going to be a lot of work. Remember to take care of yourself as well. I know, I came back to change and freshen up, but I should be getting back to Moko now. Longer Moko stays unconscious, the worse Nozomi is going to feel. I hope she wakes up soon. Okay, nobody outside the cafeteria. Oh, but the twins are not in their room. Come on, drama. I was expecting a peaceful morning. Those hopes were shattered the moment I got inside the cafeteria.
I told you! I've had enough!
Ah, one, we've got voiceover from Kako, but also, I bet she's fighting with Ima. Yep. We've seen that face once, one other time from Ima, and that's when she actively defied him. And it was very much, I said no, essentially. Kako and Ima, they're actually here today? What's going on? I feel like she left and came here, and he followed. Like, she defied an order. Hey, Kako, what's up? Is something wrong? I can't take it anymore. Always doing what my brother tells me, staying in his room all day. I've had enough of it. At this rate, we'll pass the whole 100 days just hiding, not doing anything useful. I don't want that. I want
to fight too! Just like everyone else.
You do? Well, it's about time, but hey, better late than never. Of course you can join the team. Let's 86 those invaders and save the world together.
Don't be so ridiculous. Who gives a rat's ass about the world?
What was that? All of you, do you see what you've done? Are you proud of yourselves? It's got it's this sort of like raspy lich voice going on, I guess. All of your ridiculous talk of teamwork and fighting for the greater cause has poisoned my dear sister's mind. All this talk of emancipation and voting rights. Nobody's poisoned me, brother dearest. Why are you always like this? You never let me do anything. You never even call me by my name. Do you have any idea how much I hate that sister dearest stuff? I know you don't want me to get hurt, but I can't go on like this anymore. Yeah, that's another nail in the abusive coffin. The you don't have a name. That might as well be girl or wife, you know? That is not a name, that is a descriptive noun. Everyone is working so hard, putting their lives on the line, while we just keep ourselves safe.
If you want to be a coward, you can do it alone.
It's kind of what I'd hoped for. A coward? Sister dearest, why would you say such an awful thing to me? I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. How much longer is this family drama going to go on? I'm falling asleep over here. Shush, don't butt in. They need to work this out between the two of them. Brother dearest, please. For once, just listen to me. Let me do what I want. This is important. Let me fight. Yeah, this is very much, it's for your own good. We can't stay with the family anymore. We have to run away.
Let me do something that matters. That's all I ask.
And still, she's still in a mental position where she is asking, like, she's begging for permission to do what she wants. Well, this is a surprise. I don't think I've ever heard you speak so forcefully, sister dearest. You're really serious about this, aren't you? Guess there's only one thing for me to do, then.
I have to punish you for stepping so far out of line and give you a thorough re-education.
Okay, well, I was about to say, like, oh, okay, yeah, he flipped because she pushed him hard enough and his whole persona is, adoration of her. And there's a line that she will cross that makes it so to adore her, he has to kind of flip-flop on what he asserts. This is technically the other possibility, though. What? Come along, back to our room. You need a stern talking to. No, please, come on. Who's going to intervene? Come along, sister dearest. Do as your dear brother says. Ima grabbed Kako's hand and started dragging her toward the door, but before he could get there... Punch! Do it! It's enough. Give it a rest, man. Takamaru stepped in to block their path. I don't care if you are her brother. You got no right to treat Kako like this. If you really love her, shouldn't you respect her opinion a little more? What did you say? Makes you think you have any right to decide what's best for my dear sister?
I have to protect her. From herself, if necessary. Now, get out of my way!
Yep. Our speculation about Ima is 100% confirmed. Ima moved too fast for me to follow. One moment he was reaching into his pocket. Oh, okay, here we go. The next, he shoved something sharp and deadly looking into Takamaru's side.
Takamaru!
You piece of shit.
Well, we know what one of those cages is for.
It's your own fault for interfering. I am my dear sister's protector. Her rock, her guiding light, her everything. Her happiness is my responsibility and mine alone. She is what gives my life meaning. I would do anything to keep her safe. Any act of violence, or cowardice, or cruelty.
That is absolutely why, despite their kind of, like, the outfits that they wear and similar, that the way they describe their lives up until that point, that, like, oh, we're used to doing things like eating grass and sleeping in boxes in alleys, or, you know, we learned to tie money under our clothes with whatever rope or string we could find, kind of stuff. It's to keep her to himself, he dragged her out of their life. Like, out of their existing life.
Nothing is too extreme for me!
Takamaru fell to the floor, a red puddle spreading out beneath him. He straight up shivved him. So much blood. Kinda gets you in the mood, doesn't it? The killings have finally started. We have to stop the bleeding. No, you don't. You can intervene. It's actually to his disadvantage for you to treat that wound. He will have a gut wound going into the next battle if you treat the wound. Or he can be reconstructed. But, you know, that is not panicking individuals thinking. We can use a tablecloth. But if I touch anything, my total failure pathogens could infect the wound. Never mind that, just do it. Like, he got knifed in the belly. Like, that... There's a good chance intestines are ruptured, that kind of thing. It's gonna be an ugly wound. And none of them are surgeons or anything that like that. The only medical facilities are the bio lab and the kind of reanimation machine, the Revive-O-Matic. Which does make us wonder, what is their procedure for recovering after battle? Because it actually does seem like they're doing anime rules, you know. I got hurt, so wrap it in bandages, it'll be fine for the next fight. We all crowded around, doing whatever we could to help our fallen friend. Wait a minute, the culprits escaped. Thank you, person thinking just one step ahead. Huh? Kurara was right. The rest of us were busy tending Takamaru's injury. While the rest of us, Ima had disappeared, and he'd taken Kako with him.
Hey!
They're both gone. Wasn't anyone watching the door? The coward. A true warrior would stay and face retribution for his actions. Just look at all that blood. I'm about to start drooling. You Can deal with those two later. Right now, Takamaru takes priority. I think he's passed out from losing so much blood. We should dress the wound and get him somewhere he can rest. There's no rush. If he dies, we can just take him to the infirmary and bring him back. We still have to try to save him. Someone help me with his legs. It is. This is... They are still very much in the mindset that death is permanent. Like, that is... It is reasonable. It is to be expected. But their behaviors still indicate that it's like, oh no, you know, he might die. Despite the fact he has likely died in front of them. Like, canonically, they have often died in front of each other. Darumi has violently died in front of them. It's that they still don't want that to happen. They're used to that not being a thing. So even though, when you think about it, it would actually be a bad idea, it would reduce their fighting strength to have him injured and recovering instead of dead and then standing. We did our best to get Takamaru patched up. Then Aito, Yagamu, Gaku, and I carried him back to his room. His room has a lot of purple. Yeah, I like the color, and he's got some nice straightforward decorations, you know? Right, lower him down gently.
Huh?
Once we got him onto the bed, we thought the hardest part was over, but we were wrong. I like how the what is usually an umbrella stand, like where you would put your umbrellas after you come inside, just has a variety of different baseball bats. Looks like he has 3 metal ones and 1 wooden one. Takamaru's eyes flew open and he immediately tried to get back up. The blood on his chest. Well, he normally has a chest wrap. It's normally a belly wrap. It's normally a little lower. But they have apparently added some more up to his ribs. But the blood on that bandage is just below the sternum. But the injury would have been down and right, towards like kidney kind of territory. Where is he? I'm going to tear him limb from limb. Stop moving around. You're going to make it worse. You need rest. This is just a scratch. It barely even hurts. He says, going pale and sweating. You're not fooling anyone, man. He cut you open. Of course it hurts. Bringing you back to full health with the Revive-O-Matic's always an option. What do you say? I can make it quick. Okay, we have a second person that's talking sense. Well, again, strategic sense. Don't give me that. Dying in battle's one thing, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna let something like this do me in. It's just a flesh wound. Of course, death isn't something to be treated lightly, even if we do have the option of bringing people back.
Hey!
In that case, we'll have to stay here. You'll have to stay here and rest until your wound's healed. But this also leads us to the question of self-determination. It's, if he says he wants to go, and his death is not really a risk, then why stop him? Like, no, you have to heal naturally. We can't use the Revive-O-Matic. Why not? What if I want to? Now, he doesn't want to, but he also wants to leave. Don't tell me what to do. I can just... I can get up, just... See? What did I tell you? I'll get him for this. Nobody pulls a knife on Takamaru Yakushiji and gets away with it. You guys hear that? Ima's mine. Don't go passing any vigilante justice until I'm back on my feet.
Huh?
Yeah, sure. Not like I was about to go after him anyway. just don't understand. Why would he do something like this to a friend? Because Ima doesn't consider any of you friends. That's your mistake right there. Are you his sister? No? Okay. Ima's definitely in the midst of his villain arc there, Tess. He's always been protective of Kako, but this is taking it to another level. This is demonstrating that it is on another level, that it is different than what you thought it was. I get my hands on him. Why did it have to be Takamaru he lashed out at? Things are only going to get worse now. We spent the rest of the day tending to Takamaru, forcing him back down whenever he tried to get up. Eventually, he fell asleep, and we finally felt confident leaving him alone. It was pretty late by the time I got back to my room. Additionally, what does Hemo-Anima transformation do to you if you're injured already? Is there a long-term risk of using it? Like, if he's really out for vengeance at this point, he could transform and motorcycle his way after Ima there. Part of, I think, what makes this kind of situation work better than it did in Danganronpa is we have the teenagers being teenagers aspect. But it's not in a situation where they are actively suspicious of each other as far as the each other is the risk. The other people are the risk. It's that, hey, oh, we could just lock them up. We could just tie them up kind of thing is an option in Danganronpa, whereas in this one, it's like death is not really a problem. The only thing holding them back is that they don't want each other to die. So when they encounter the kind of traitor inside scenario like this, it's the irrational teenager part that bubbles up. Ooh, thinking on it, I wonder if all this Ima is in the party. Ima shows up on the menus. I wonder if that's a fake out. That would be excellent design if it was a fake out. Because I mentioned there are a lot of games that stumble on that. Where it's in the game, they will have left in markers that a character that is not in the group could equip an item, kind of thing. And it gives away the fact that that character is going to join you, which especially ruins the narrative if that character is currently like an enemy or something. I went out of my way, got to a different area, and suddenly I get an item that says that character isn't going to be in my team. In this case, we've seen indicators that Ima could do something. Is that a fake out? I kind of hope it is. What a day. As if we didn't have enough on our plates with Moko's condition, now we have to worry about Ima going postal on us too. Alternate bonus. Alternate scenario that I think would be equally cool, but they probably don't do. Ima does join the group, but they find some way to, like, Hannibal Lecter restrain him, and Kako's whole battle mechanic is that she uses Ima as a literal shield. Like, crucified to the plate kind of thing. You get the same sort of character narrative presented. He's really gone too far this time. What was he thinking? Huh? What's that? As I looked absently around my room, I caught sight of something that hadn't been there before. A note. There's a scrap of paper by the door. How did this get there?
Ah.
Is it some kind of note? Did someone leave it for me while I was gone? I picked up the paper and turned it over to find a message on the other side. The handwriting was rough and messy, as if it had been written in a hurry. Please convince my brother to let me fight. Is this? I don't recognize the writing, but given the content, this could only have come from Kako. She must have slipped away from Ima at some point and slid it under my door. She wants me to get Ima to change his mind? It's quite the tall order. If we go down this route, it is kind of disappointing. If Ima does join, if Ima is convinced to join us, even if it's like just to protect the his sister kind of thing, then come on. Not to mention, if I say the wrong thing, he might stab me too. One, why would he entertain a conversation given that he has already resorted to sudden violence against the people that have corrupted his sister, apparently. But, you know, the opening volley really should be, hey, knock on the door. If he opens the door, everybody lunges in, beats him into submission, throws him in one of the garden cages, and then you talk about, being rational. It's you only get to protect your sister if you play nice with everybody else. Otherwise, beatings and imprisonment.
You never know when the invaders might attack, so... Well then.
This is a moment for them to demonstrate the writing in the game. Let's see how it unfolds. It really is getting late. I must have spent more time with Takamaru than I realized. Maybe I'll show this note to everyone in the morning and ask them what they think I should do. If I'm going to talk Ima around, I'll need all the help I can get. Still puzzling over Kako's request, I slipped into a light, troubled sleep. My 52nd day at Last Defense Academy was over, and I wasn't sorry to see it go either. Really, everybody else is in a position of advantage in this scenario. If Ima leaves the room, or Kako leaves the room, the rest of the team has complete control.
Out of troops, time to rise and shine.
The only places that there is fresh food is outside of those rooms. Water is still an option. They still have that and anything they've squirreled away. But there is only one way out of each of those rooms. And one location where food can be found. And that one location has one entrance. There's the concern of an invader attack, but there is a imminent... and that's assuming that the doors can't open. Otherwise, you know. Let's see how they deal with this circumstance in the story.
Get ready for your 53rd day of active service here at Last Defense Academy. Prepare to spend another day. Be ready to give your lives to protect our...
Huh?
Bing bong. Would call so early. Because, despite the technological appearance of the outside, if we look at the inside, that is a basic metal door with very basic hinges and a standard doorknob. Given their ability to fabricate whatever they want, they can definitely fabricate a sledgehammer, and a sledgehammer to the doorknob is all you need to open those things. If you bash the outside of those doorknobs off, the other side falls out. They are not complicated devices. Good morning, Mr. Sumino. This is unexpected. Ima? Forgive me for skipping the small talk. I'm going to come right out and ask. Are you hiding something from me?
Yeah?
Hiding something?
Aha!
Perhaps I'm just imagining it.
Oh.
But then again, maybe I'm not. Well, which is it? No?
Duh?
Really? I just want to be sure I heard you correctly. Are you hiding something from me or not? No. No. Okay, twice more. I don't like it when games do this. If you are making a game and you are presenting a narrative choice, at the bare minimum, if there is no choice in the scenario and the situation will result in the same thing, regardless of your choice, there should at least be a different immediate reaction. You should never have a, wait, are you sure that you meant no? It's, if you present me with a yes or no, let me answer and then continue, even if the answer does not ultimately matter. Have at least one reaction to the choice that I made and then proceed. This is not a decision you're letting me make. Wouldn't say I was hiding it from you, but I did get a note from Kako last night. I never actually saw her, though. She probably just slipped it under the door. That does look like my dear sister's handwriting. May I? Without waiting for an answer, Ema took the note from me and screwed it up into a tight ball. What are you doing?
Ah!
My dear sister clearly puts a lot of stock in your oratory skills if she thinks they'd work on me.
Aha!
How about we make a deal, Mr. Sumino? A deal? If you really need more firepower, I don't mind joining the team. What? I do have one condition, though. You have to convince my dear sister not to fight. Convince Kako.
Huh?
She's going through a rebellious phase. No matter what I say, she refuses to see sense. I'd like you to use your talent for talking to people to get her to give up on this silly notion of fighting like the rest of you.
Ah.
If you can do that, I'll gladly put my life on the line instead. Are we being presented with our first meaningful choice in the game? There are supposed to be plot divergences, and I don't know if this is it only diverges once you have reached like an ending scenario and now you get to make new choices when you go back, or is this during a playthrough you are presented with forks in the road? We don't know. Before we do continue, though, I missed the break marker a few minutes ago, so we're going to take it now. Be right back. And we're back. We can spot her before she runs off with it. Oh. And she has launched it over. So Molly was playing with the hockey puck. She will frequently knock it off of the table when she sees that Mason is playing with it. She's smacking it around still. And then it will make its way under that stool. I am seriously considering moving that stool. Largely because of that they knock things under it and then they lose them. You can see Mason looking on like, but that's mine. Okay, so this was the, if you convince her not to fight, I will join you.
Aha!
You really mean that? Hey, Dodds. Welcome. Cross my heart. Any attempt to put my dear sister on the battlefield is doomed to failure. She's meant to be protected, not a protector. She just needs somebody to convince her that this is for the best. That's where you come in. If you can manage that, I'll do enough fighting for the both of us. Do we have a deal? Dealing with family there, huh, Dodds? No, no deal.
Duh?
Don't be like that, Mr. Sumino. Do we have a deal? 2, 3. Okay, that's twice in a row. Come on, bad design.
Hey!
All right, I have a feeling you're not going to take no for an answer anyway. If they're not going to take no, have the character say no and say, it doesn't matter. That's the only option you have, and then they leave or something. Don't say you can choose yes or no twice if it just is going to loop around. Another astute observation. Thank you for making this so easy, Mr. Sumino. Believe me, you've made the right choice. My dear sister is a lot of things, but a fighter is not one of them. If one of us has to get our hands dirty, it should be me. Anyone can see that. Okay, just so long as you hold up your end of the deal. Like, I don't want to convince her to stay in the current circumstance. He is an abusive, controlling monster. He quite literally said that he was going to take her back to his room and re-educate her for mouthing off to him. I don't want him on the team. Like, if we're willing to treat a gut wound from Takamaru instead of using the Revive-O-Matic, then, let's sequester Ima in a box. I've already given you my word. Do I look like a liar to you? You look like an anime villain, sir. Yes, you do. Yes, that's why I mentioned it. By the way, what if I can't persuade her? What do you do then? Such a negative attitude. Ill becomes you, Mr. Sumo. If that does happen, though, maybe I'll just break down the door to the defense room and end the war that way. What? So long as my dear sister can live the rest of her life in peace and safety, I don't care what happens to humanity or the planet. If I judge that this war is putting her in unique danger, I won't hesitate to end it by any means necessary. Tie him up, take him outside of Revive-O-Matic distance, throw him in a building, and leave. He has just stated that if he doesn't get his way at any time, he is willing to essentially kill all of you. Like, permanently. Ima said all this with the same placid smile on his face that he always wore. If I didn't know better, I might have thought he was joking. I did know better, though. Behind that smile, he was dead serious. He would gladly doom humanity if it meant keeping his sister safe. She really is his entire world. As mentioned, we are tiptoeing on the precipice of bad writing at the moment. If the game requires you to make such a obviously bad decision, like, there is nothing good about giving Emo what he wants right now. And if none of the characters call that out, that's a problem. Yeah, it's not that she's his entire world, it's that he considers her his possession, and nobody else can have her, even if that means everybody else has to die. She is his, and almost universally, that sort of behavior extends to, and if I can't have her, no one can. It's the next logical step in that behavior is I will kill her before I let her be taken away from me. That way, nobody can corrupt her, kind of thing. He is the type of villain that, after he loses the next time you see him, there's a bit of Kako taxidermy in his room. You should get to work. If you can't talk her around by the time Mr. Yakushiji recovers, it will only complicate matters.
Hey!
And remind me, whose fault is that? Guilty as charged. Well, good luck. Okay, game. Prove yourself. Give me a way to throw this guy under a bus. Ima waved nonchalantly and sauntered out of the room, looking like he didn't have a care in the world. Like, let me talk to Kako. Let me tell her, hey, if you pretend that you won't fight, then he says he'll join us in a battle. Then we're going to go on an expedition, and he won't be a problem for any of us anymore. Otherwise, he said he's going to keep you in this box for himself forever. Make your choice. Because we can't risk having him around. Do you want to join him or not? Really seems like they might be going down the this is bad writing road. Let's find out. Turns out I'll be trying to convince Kako, not Ima. I don't like it, but Ima hasn't given me a lot of choice. He's not going to budge on this, I can tell. Yes, he has given you a choice. But honestly, he does have a point about Kako not being much of a fighter. Why? You haven't seen anything about that. The only thing you've seen about Ima being a fighter is that he's willing to shank somebody in a cafeteria. That doesn't mean he's a fighter. That means he knows where the pointy end of a knife is. Toddlers often learn that accidentally. I'll have to act like I've accepted her request, then turn it around on her once she's opened up to me. This is actually kind of angering. The serial domestic abuser has a good point. I guess I'm going to have to help him do this to her. Time to gaslight the poor girl. Kind of a rotten thing to do, but it's for the greater good. I'll start asking the others about her. Wow. Before I said Ima was my least favorite character, and he still is, and that Shoma was second for being, like, kind of hyper-depressing. But Shoma has hopped out of that position, and Takumi is, like, diving headlong into the slot. I mean, bad characters. Part of the problem here is that it's really, really difficult to have a POV character that is kind of being a jackass. Or a bad person. Like, just a straight-up bad person. It's one thing if you play them as a bad person. Like, you are given the option to make them a bad person. But when you can see them making irrational decisions, not even like if you're playing and there is a obvious A and B and they're like, I guess I have to do A, there's no choice, even though B is a better idea. Like, my character should be able to see that B is a better idea. I guess I'll have to do A. Like, this is not... It's... How about you just tell everybody else what Ima's up to? This is just... Oh... I have concerns. I had been saying that, like, hey, they haven't gone the Danganronpa route where the writing gets bad. We are standing on that precipice. We are looking straight down that road right now. How's it going, Mr. Sumino? It's... Oftentimes, you need somebody potentially from outside of the immediate writing team to look at this and say, does this make sense? In the context of the people that we're dealing with, does it make sense that this character would go along with this wholeheartedly? Again, they have an opportunity. It depends on how this plays out. But if it plays out as, we're just straight up appeasing this monster... It's not for the greater good. It's, do this or I'll kill all of you, says, I am willing to demand you give me what I want or I'll kill all of you. Why? Why would you accept that ultimatum? Beat him up, tie him up, throw him in the purple fire. The machine can't get you in the eternal flames. And it's no loss. I mean, he's not helping. He's actually actively unhelping. Please try to be careful not to let on to my dear sister that you're trying to convince her and not me. I understand, but I need your help too. Your brother and sister, you must have some info about her you can share, right?
Oh!
I'd rather not let a single soul know any private details about my darling sister. But I suppose I have no choice this time.
Aha!
What would you like to know? Do you know anything about what she wants right now? That would undeniably be a motorcycle, or more precisely, a scooter. A scooter.
Yeah!
Our father was a detective. He often rode a scooter to work, an old-fashioned one. That made her want one as well. This is the first I've heard about your father being a detective. Well, he and our mother both passed away from a traffic accident while we were in elementary school. In spite of that, my dear sister has always admired our father's detective work. Okay, this shifts around. There is the possibility that their character story is they were orphaned and nobody took care of them. Though again, I still feel like the arc from Ima here is much more... I removed her from whatever situation she was in order to keep her to myself, given some of the other commentary. See? Ever since our parents died, it's been just the two of us. We ate whatever we could to survive. We begged and even dumpster dived. Okay, it's that they had to live alone because their parents died. That is true, Lunar. Even given the opportunity for someone to take care of them, there's also the chance that he intervened to stop that so he could keep her under his control. I've done so many foul things for the sake of money. Weren't there any other adults who could take care of you? Of course we had relatives that said they'd take care of us. Let's just say we've seen no shortage of the dark side of adults like that. What? That's why I decided never to trust anyone. So long as I had my dear sister, that was enough for me. So we could take that statement two ways, is that they were actively bad people and tried to take advantage of them, you know, in quotes, to be a bad thing, or they tried to take advantage of us, or, you know, bad people with bad motives, and that they would require that I not control my sister, kind of thing. Ima? I don't want my dear sister to see how foul this world truly is. I'm the only one who needs to bear that shame. I don't like the way that this is going. If it continues this road, they might be trying to have redemption for him. There's a reason that he's doing this. It's a good reason that he's doing this. No.
Aha!
We'll do whatever it takes for her sake, even if it means licking a stranger's boots. So that's the reason for his strange attachment to Kako. No, don't do this. And you, Mr. Sumino, have been tasked with convincing my dear sister not to fight. I still hold out hope, because we still get crazy eyes from him on the reg here. Please take this assignment seriously. Ima had a lot of good info to offer. So Kako wants an old-fashioned scooter, huh? I'll have to remember that. You okay out here with that injury? This little scrape's nothing. Kako apologized for it, you know. She ain't so bad. It's that brother of hers that's the problem. Seems like she's getting tired of putting up with him, too. I thought she was pretty badass speaking up about how she wants to fight. But he just had to go screw it up. Hey, calm down. You'll make the wound worse if you get worked up. He is out walking around and talking with a gut wound. If he can make it worse, if Takamaro's magical constitution can't resist the damage of getting worked up a little bit, then I don't know what the physics of this world is. Like, he got stabbed through his muscles into like his organs. Those are both nasty types of injuries. Especially to that area. That's not going to be a pleasant injury. But he's already out walking around. So I'm thinking, you know, again, anime resilience. Hell, look at his character model. So when he was injured, you know, when they had his coat off and him bandaged up, his bandages went up to his ribs, and the blood was directly under his sternum. So the upper bandage is not there. There is no blood on the lower bandage. He's not bleeding anymore. He's not wounded anymore. The man's Wolverine. He's kind of like a much more contained Hulk, Tass. The more worked up he gets, the more power he gains. By the way, do you know anything about Kako? I'm trying to learn more about her. Let's see. When I was screwing around with my ride, she came to talk to me. Said she wanted to try driving it, but I shot her down. Can't do that without a license. You're surprisingly upstanding about that kind of thing. It's against the law. Yeah, that reminds me. You want this thing? Bicycle? Where'd you find this? Out in the ruins. It's all worn out, but it's still usable. Bikes ain't so bad, you know? I patrolled the turf on one till I got my license. I like to think he was still in full Japanese biker gang regalia when he was doing that. You know, tall war banners, emblem coat, that kind of stuff. Riding around with a bike with a little bell on the handle. The last thing the opposing gang heard was a little ching-ching, ching of the bike bell before he was on them. Do what you want with it. Smack people with it. Cuddle it. Sorry, I think I opened the wound a little. Gonna go back to my room and rest. So again, you can see, I opened the wound and he's bleeding from his mouth and nose. For that to be happening means he's either got blood in his stomach or blood in his lungs. Heavy impact to the chest could cause some tissue rupture in the lungs and that can be the cause of the, you know, the Dragon Ball Z, I spit a little blood, but otherwise I'm fine. Stomach would make some sense given where they showed the wound after the stabbing. But since he's not bleeding from the wound, then he's fine. Nakamaru doesn't seem like he's recovering very well, but maybe I can use this bike for something. I think I'm just going to circle back around to Takumi, you're a bad person. Like, his behavior around Nozomi and his insistence that she must be lying to him, she's actually his childhood friend. And now his quick willingness to say, yes, abuser, I will help you keep abusing your sister. It's for the greater good. Want to know about Kako? I've only been able to talk to her a little every now and then. Anything you can tell me is fine. Oh, when I'm tinkering with cars in here... She always has a sparkle in her eyes. And like I said, it's one thing if I were choosing options. Like, if presented with the choice, I could choose to go along with Ima. But at the moment, the game has twice in a row prevented me from choosing to go against Ima. Like, first, I could not hide the note from him. And second, I could not say, I agree with your plan. Like, no, I don't agree with your plan. I'm going to, then I'm going to immediately run and tell everybody he plans on damaging the defense room. Let's get him. Like, you had options, and you chose to go along with him as part of a fixed narrative. Oh yeah, he's not as bad as Ima, but that's, you know, that serial killer only killed 3 people. This one, as opposed to 10. He's not a bad guy. Exactly, Lunar, exactly. Really enthusiastic when she asked me about bikes and driving techniques. I think she's into that stuff. I see. Thanks, that helps a lot. It's nothing, don't mention it. Now, a way to turn this around is, one, if they give me a way to make a choice at the end. And I think one of the best ways to go through this is if, when I'm presented with a choice, you could go for one or the other or both. If there's a way to just concede and let him get what he wants, if there's a way to give her what she wants and kind of turn against him, or if there's a way to make him not a monster and for both of them to join. that would be an interesting possibility. Some narrative could result from that. I'm a not hold my breath. By the way, check this out. It's a prototype I just finished. A custom-made motorcycle engine. Pretty sweet, right? Yes, and convenient. I overhauled it in my spare time to relax. I tuned it up so much it's gonna give a real smooth ride from now on. To be honest, I can't tell what's so special about it, but I'm glad you're so happy with the results. Yep, I'm really proud of this one. This is only a prototype of something Takamaru asked me to do, so I've still got plenty more to work on. Motorcycle engine, huh? Hey, Tsubasa, do you think I could have that prototype? It's fine with me, but does that mean you're building something, Takumi? Maybe. I don't know if it'll work yet, though. Thanks for the engine. And the info about Kako, too. It really helps. I want to make sure that I talk to everybody about this, with the hopes that we can go down the let's not be monsters road. Kako, huh? Why would I know anything about her? I suppose you wouldn't. How about you, Kyoshika? She knows nothing. You'd simply be wasting your time by asking. You haven't even given me a chance to answer. Okay, so what do you know about her? Nothing, naturally. Cares about those weirdo twins, anyhow. All they ever do is hole up in their room while the rest of us are in danger. Kako does want to fight, though. You heard her say so, right? As if that pampered princess could handle herself in battle. Says you. Though I get, her whole gimmick is that they have a very militaristic family, essentially. It's expected that she's capable of fighting. I mean, it would just be like an electric bicycle, but way more so. The real question is, how well would the rusty old bicycle hold up? Better that she stays a pathetic shut-in rather than become a burden on us real fighters. You're as harsh as ever. And why wouldn't I be? Even if she got worked up enough to mix it up with the rest of us, she'd be nothing but a nuisance. It's rare to hear you get so emotional, Lady Carrara. What's that? Are you trying to impugn my nobility, you simpleton? Pluck that ponytail off your head and toss it so far away no one will ever find it. But without this, I would cease to be me. Doesn't seem like I can get any information from either of these two. It's best to go somewhere else. Thanks for joining us, Lunar. The whole, strap a combustion engine to a regular bicycle thing. Reminds me, in Discworld, one of the characters in the Night Watch is Detritus the Troll. And he is fantastically simple. I mean, it'd be easy to say fantastically stupid, but trolls are not bright in that world, with the concept being that they think very, very slowly. So, they go for the shortest route between 2 points most of the time. There are smart trolls, though. There are very smart trolls. Just a lot of them are kind of dense. Detritus in particular, though, is notoriously considered the dumbest troll in the city. But member of the Night Watch. And at one point, when they are raiding a weapons storehouse as part of a plot, the weapon that he ends up taking for himself while the others are arming up is a carriage-mounted ballista, like back-of-the-wagon ballista, that he uses like a personal crossbow. Like, he is able to hand-cock the ballista. But they don't have access to actual siege bolts. So he just takes piles of regular bolts in a big tied-up bundle and loads them into the thing. So when he fires them, it is not that he's shooting bolts. It's that in comedy terms, in fantasy physics terms, the ballista is so big and powerful that it accelerates the bundle of bolts so quickly that they combust in midair. So he is firing burning wood shrapnel out of a shotgun. I mentioned this because of the idea. It's a powerful prototype bike engine. What are we going to strap it to? A rusty old street bike. What's it going to turn into? Metal shrapnel in a short period of time. Will just be you on a bike seat holding some handlebars on top of a bunch of whirling metal parts. Someone's found a nasty, gory corpse? Where? Where? I didn't say a single thing about that. Oh, man. She's not even trying to hide her disappointment. I'm looking for information on Kako. Can you tell me anything you know about her? I heard she likes detective novels and shows. She even asked me for recommendations. But I'm way too simple for that stuff. My lane's killing games, gory games, and band games. Okay, was there anything... Oh, I just had a great idea. You should get killed, Takumi. What are you talking about? If you die, I can see your corpse, and Kako can play detective. It's win-win, right? Do it. Do it. Don't... Still waiting on those test results, and I am out of the testing medicine, so coughing may resume. Don't worry, we'll chuck you in the Revive-O-Matic after we're done.
Hey!
Oh, that's another marker. It's the drones pick them up on the battlefield, but if they're killed inside, would the drones come and get them? Or would they have to be manually loaded? Because if they have to be manually loaded, that's another way to keep, Ima, quote-unquote, captive. Corpse in a box. I'll pass. I don't have any time or reason to play those kind of games. Figure you'd say that. Nobody ever listens to my suggestions. Got bummed out talking to you. I feel like I could cry for no reason. I hate this. The mood's gotten pretty sour here. I better cut this short.
Yeah.
Info on Kako. Will you pay me for it? His greediness is so transparent. It's actually kind of refreshing. Yeah, it depends. Have you dug up a scoop good enough to pay for? Of course not. Anytime I try to talk to her, that brother of hers butts in. Last time he said he'd start charging me for every 10 seconds I talked to his dear sister. Money grubber. You're one to talk. Anyway, that's why I've been careful never to talk to Kako, if I can help it. I've had enough of getting stuck with massive bills out of nowhere. Saying you weren't always the one sticking others with them? Kako doesn't seem to have any useful information. I'll have to ask someone else. You want to know about Kako? Yeah, can you tell me any little details you might know? I would if I could, but I don't know very much about her. She and Ima are always together, and he's always cautious whenever I approach them. He really is extremely protective of his sister. There must be some reason he clings so closely to Kako. But that's about all I know. I'm sorry it's not very useful. Wish I could offer more. It's nothing to worry about. I'll ask the others as well. Okay, out here somewhere is Yakumo. There we go. What do I know about Kako? Yeah, is there anything you've heard or noticed? Anything at all? Well, sure, there's plenty. Really? Like what? For starters, she's quite delicate, but has a lovely frame. I can see the color of her blood through her pale skin. Hold up, just to be clear, I don't need to know about her insides. In that case, there's nothing much I can tell you.
Hey!
Nothing? Yakumo was definitely the wrong person to ask. Info about Kako?
Huh?
Yeah, can you tell me what you know about her? Conversations you've had with her or anything like that? Sorry, but I don't really talk to Kako very often. I wouldn't want her to catch any airborne particles from a parasitic or pessimistic fungus like me. Haven't you interacted with her at all? Though come to think of it, when I was starting Takamaro's super intense to hell and back training regimen, Kako did drop in on us. But before she could say anything, Ima showed up and took her back to his room. Yeah. There is nothing that we can really have Ima present that would justify his behavior. It can be a bad circumstance, and it can be good that she might be protected from that circumstance, but his method of doing it is going to be comparable to any of the circumstances they're likely to include. Like the whole, you need to be re-educated thing is, like, there is no justification here. It's brainwashing and gaslighting. This is not good. Maybe she wanted to train with you? She does seem pretty enthusiastic about joining the fight. You think so? I thought for sure she came to observe a social oddity on the verge of death, dripping with sweat and snot. I'm still curious about what that training involved. No one could have expected as dramatic a transformation as yours. If that's the case, maybe you'd like this. A tire? What for? Part of the training was having me run while pulling a tire. If you're interested, feel free to use it for yourself, Takumi. Don't worry, I've fully disinfected it. My inferiority spores aren't on it anymore. Now we get the impression that it's almost habit for him to say this still. But it's usually presented with a happier sprite. It is much more of a don't worry despite this kind of thing, as opposed to a this is actually true mantra. They're still presenting it as if, oh, this is actually true, but I'm positive about it. But we have proceeded from annoying character to fully annoying character to just semi-annoying character gimmick. I don't plan on doing any training, but maybe I can use this for something. Might as well hold on to it. Okay. Can we talk to her about what's actually happening? Takumi, did you get that note I wrote you? The one about convincing Ima? Good, you did get it. I wrote it so I could ask you for help without my dear brother finding out. I'm sorry to trouble you. I'm sorry he found out because I immediately caved and told him. What do you think? Will you be able to convince him? I'm still getting all the information I can first. Really? Oh.
Ah.
Are you sure about this? He seems dead set on not letting you fight. Whatever, he's always treating me like a child, telling me, sister dearest this and sister dearest that. And after what he did to Takamaru... He did cross a line there, it's true. He went to crazy levels to protect you. Just the terminology of that, to protect you, intrinsically puts a positive spin on what he's doing. It's for your protection, which is, it's meant to be positive. It's always been like that. He probably will until the day I die, but I can't live like this. So what would you want to do if you could live your own life? I want to be a detective. A detective? Just like the person I've always admired. But never mind about me. I'm counting on you, Takumi. Please convince my brother somehow. If I press her any further, she might get suspicious. Oh... I have concerns about my playthrough of this if we have to follow through with this route. Like, if we follow through as is, like we are convincing her not to fight so that her brother can keep her in this circumstance, I won't like this story anymore. So Kako wants her independence so she can become a detective. But is that the only reason? Okay, so the thing Kako wants is... a scooter. Said an old-fashioned scooter would make her happy. Got all the materials, so can head over to the Gift-O-Matic and whip up an old-fashioned scooter. Please, game, give us a choice. Like, give us a moment of clarity to say, no, screw that guy. Right, it's finished. Now you just have to give it to Kako and hope it helps convince her. How did it go, Takumi? Were you able to convince my brother? You're giving me this scooter? How did it go? Were you able to convince him? He walked into the library wheeling a scooter. I would expect that to be your first reaction, as, what are you doing with a scooter in here? Like, it was as if he, pulled it out from behind his back and presented it to her. Look, I brought you a scooter. Oh, I'm surprised to see a scooter. It's the same model as the one my father rode. This is amazing. It's like he's here with me again. I've always wanted a bike like this. Thank you, Takumi. Kako had tears of joy in her eyes. She was undoubtedly thinking about her father. She's bearing her soul like an innocent child. This is my chance to convince her. You have to assume with some of them. I mean, some of them are like, hey, it's like a little case I could give you. It'll be like, it makes a bag of snacks, but... like... whole bike. Tell the truth, there's something you and I need to talk about. We need to talk? Is it about you wanting to ride the scooter too? No, it's not that. Okay, I would like to ride the scooter, but... it's about Ima. I'm sorry, but I can't help you convince him. But why? You said you'd help me. Because I see things the same way he does. You really aren't meant for the battlefield, Kako. we're going to complete play for the day. But if this goes down this road fully, I kind of don't care about this character anymore. Like, I don't like playing as Takumi if this is actually the way he thinks. How could you, Takumi? Your gift made me so happy.
But you only brought it here at my brother's suggestion to convince me. I won't change my mind, no matter what anyone says. I don't want us to run away from everything like cowards anymore. I want to be part of the team and fight beside you.
It's not like that.
It's just that I agree you'd be better off not fighting. How can you say that? Please, hear me out. Ima's worried about you. He doesn't want the person he cares about most to be in danger. And I understand how he feels. That's why. But you're forcing me not to fight. It's always been this way. He always held me back, intervening and telling me, "It's for your own good, sister dearest." He won't even call me by my name. He only worries about himself.
He just controls me however he sees fit.
Let's...
You might be right.
Ima definitely goes too far trying to protect you. Right. If you think so too, you should tell him. I couldn't convince her at all. But I can't leave things like this. I need to make Kako understand.
He just controls me however he sees fit. I refuse to give in to him. This time, I'll fight of my own free will.
Oh.
You're wrong, Kako.
How can you say that? Because Ima told me he'd fight in your place. That's why he asked me to come here. So I could convince you to stay out of danger. But, if you think someone who just wants to control their sister, do you think someone who just wants to control their sister would do something like that? Yes. He must care about you with all his heart. You're the only family he has.
Anyway, that has nothing to do with this. It's all just him deciding things in the end. I'm his only family, but he never discusses things with me. It's just so cruel. I hate him.
Do you really, though?
What do you mean? I heard about your past from Ima. What? It's just been you two ever since your parents passed in that traffic accident, right? Your brother has desperately struggled to protect you since then. He'd literally do anything for you. Sure, he may be overbearing at times, but that just means his bond with you is deeper than anyone or anything else. Your lives have been nothing but pain, but you were able to overcome it together. There's no way you could actually hate Ima. He cares about you with all his heart, and I think you care about him just as much as he cares about you. It's seriously better resolved, better than it's looking.
We put our lives on the line in this war. We could die at any time. I wouldn't want someone I care about getting dragged into it. You lost your parents. You should understand that feeling. So please, don't do anything reckless. Do it for the person who loves you more than anyone in the world. You know how much you mean to Ima. You need to keep yourself safe for him.
Thank God. Thank God. That mini game was seriously gross. Oh. Huh? My brother's always putting me first, it's true, and I do appreciate everything he's done for me. But there's another side to this. He means just as much to me as I do to him. That's why I can't just do nothing anymore. I have someone that I want to protect too. If I have to watch my dear brother getting hurt and making everyone his enemy, all for my sake, I think my heart might break. This is still not great. Because we're still feeding into the relationship that's been created here without evidence of there actually being a legitimate reason that she needed to be protected during their life prior to this. And now that they're in a circumstance where they have, like, essentially abundance around them, but they're also needing to, help fight and protect that location, him continuing to isolate both of them and in particular control her, we're still feeding into that. She's still saying, like, oh, but, I know he protects me. That's good, but I don't want to see him get hurt. That's still screaming the brainwashing talking. I don't want to hold him back. I never have. I just want us to support each other as equals. That could be good. I'm not trying to rebel against Ima or leave him behind. I want to fight to protect him. I'm doing this because I love him. Right, of course. You have something worth fighting for, just like the rest of us. I understand Kako's feelings all too well. Her desire to fight isn't some passing whim. Then why did you seek to shut it down? She's thought everything through, understood the risks, and come to the decision that's right for her. But wait. This isn't how it was supposed to go. I was meant to talk her out of fighting.
Oh, dear. It looks like you failed in your task, Mr. Sumino.
Ima? Seriously, what was all that about? I had such high hopes for you, too. Brother?
Hey!
Hold on a minute, Ima. It's true that I couldn't convince Kako to quit, but maybe you should listen to how she feels about it. That's right, It's okay, Sister Dearest. I heard the whole thing. You did? Yes, I was here the whole time. I wanted to observe and make sure Mr. Sumino did a good job. So you were spying on us. I thought you were going to trust me with this. It's hard for me to trust anyone when it comes to my dear sister's welfare. She's always been stubborn, but I'm still surprised you even couldn't get her to see sense.
Oh!
Guess it just goes to show things don't always work out the way you want.
I wonder if this is how it'll feel when you run off and get married someday.
What do you mean? You don't need me to say it, do you? We've never really needed words to understand each other. It's not going as gross as they were presenting it, but this sequence has not been terribly believable. Like, the character writing in this sequence has been weird. Truly proud of you for growing into such a determined young woman, but at the same time, a little sad that you might not need my help so much anymore. This is the same guy that in the prior day had dragged her away to lock her in his room, saying that she needed to be re-educated and that she would get a stern talking to. After he stabbed a guy in the guts for talking back to him about his sister needing to be sequestered. Or right about there. I can't remember the order, but it really doesn't matter. This is that same guy talking. Let's keep that in mind. So what is he actually going to do? Excuse me while I go cry into my pillow. If anyone needs me, I'll be in my room. It's getting late, sister dearest. Don't stay up too long. Ema left, smiling as usual, except this smile was different. It was tinged with a kind of resignation, and maybe even loneliness.
Huh?
Did he just give you his approval? I'm not sure. I've never seen him act like that before. Kako was clearly worried about her brother, and since we didn't have anything more to talk about, I took my leave. As for me, I went back to my room.
At ease, soldiers. It's time to hit the hay.
Checking something real quick here.
You never know when the invaders might attack, so... Well then.
Just icky sequence. Just... To sum up what happened today, I failed to persuade Kako to stay on the sidelines, but she somehow managed to convince Ema how serious she is about all of this. So she's going to fight with us in the next defensive battle, right? In that case, what will Ema do? Can't imagine he'll let Kako fight alone. Why do those two have to be such a hassle? Somewhat dissatisfied as I grappled with that notion, I decided to check on them in a few days.
Burn out of troops! Time to rise and shine! Get ready for your 54th day of active service here at Last Defense Academy. Prepare to spend another day enduring the unendurable and suffering the insufferable. Be ready to give your lives to protect our beloved school.
Done what I can to convince Kako, now I need to get back to prepping for the next defensive battle.
Huh?
How should I spend the day? Check something here. You know what, folks? We're gonna wrap up a little early. I am narratively frustrated with this. Seriously, if this were a novel I'm reading, I would be seriously considering just straight up putting it down and moving on to a different one. That is not a sequence that made me feel good playing it. And for a RPG or narrative game, that is not a position that I like to be in. I will consider this more in the future. So, we'll see if this continues further into the coming week. Yeah, Taz, it just... That persuasion minigame was gross. That was... That was a minigame about helping gaslight a girl that has been abusively isolated by a family member. That is... Ew. And it was ultimately, like, mechanically pointless at the end, is that, again, we've been spoiled on the fact that it's implied that Ema will join us already. There are world events, if you're out searching, that say Ema could do this. So we have the indication that he will be a party member. We haven't received that about Kako. I think we may have, though. So we already know that's a possibility, but we're presented with a mini game where at the end of it, the character's like, no, actually, I'm not going to be persuaded. But the reasoning that I'm going to give is indicative of the abusive relationship that you have helped perpetuate. It's, no, he still has the best for me in mind, and I want to protect him just as much as he protects me. Like, yeah, creepy. But in any event. Tomorrow we're going to be doing some programming, and then tomorrow and the next day I'm going to work on the schedule for the following week. I do want to slip some of that An Amazing Wizard in next week. There have been some updates to the early access version that include some kind of combat feel mechanics. More things like hit stops on enemy impact. Yeah, Dots, we're going to do some coding on our game tomorrow. I want to continue working on the updated file loading system. We're trying to get something that is much more maintainable in place. There's definitely some complexity to it that I'm not super satisfied with, but I feel like we're still going to be able to get something that is a lot easier to deal with long term, while still getting us the modability that we want. So we'll be doing some of that tomorrow. Then, like I said, I want to get a session of An Amazing Wizard in next week. And as mentioned, I'll be thinking about whether this is going to, the 100 line is still going to be part of our rotation. I may take it offline just to see how some of it plays through. But if I do that, I'm going to artificially accelerate my play. We may try to slide something else in there. I mean, more observation duty is always welcome. But yeah, if you like what you saw and would like to see more, the stream in general, let me know. Drop a comment on the video. Or, like, follow, subscribe, all of that stuff. It all helps the channel grow. And helps me, thoughts derailed. But yeah, I hope the rest of your day is good, folks. And I'll see you next time.